Competing in the age of AI asks a simple but powerful question. What happens when artificial intelligence moves from the edge of the business to the center of how a company actually runs? The book's authors, Iansiti and Karim Lakhani, argue that AI is not just another technology upgrade. It creates a new logic for organizing the firm itself. That matters because most firms still treat AI like software you bolt onto existing processes. The book says that approach misses the real transformation. In this view, the winning companies are not simply using smarter tools. They are redesigning decisions, workflows, and customer interactions around data and algorithms. So the core thesis is this: AI changes competition because it changes how firms sense, decide, act, and learn at scale. In business, AI does not just mean robots or science fiction. It usually means systems that detect patterns in data and turn those patterns into predictions, recommendations, or automated actions. A retailer might use AI to predict what you will buy next. A bank might use it to estimate credit risk. A platform might use it to rank what appears on your screen. What makes this important is not only the prediction itself. It is the ability to embed that prediction directly into everyday operations. In a traditional company, managers gather reports, interpret information, and make many decisions by experience and judgment. That can work, but it is often slow and hard to scale. In an AI-driven company, decisions are increasingly supported or executed by algorithms that update continuously as new data arrives. That shift matters now because businesses generate far more digital data than before. Cloud computing is cheaper, and machine learning tools are much easier to deploy. As a result, firms can make thousands or even millions of small decisions in real time. Pricing, recommendations, routing, fraud checks, and customer targeting all become dynamic. This is why AI matters strategically. It moves firms from occasional analysis by humans to continuous decision-making by data and algorithms. The book captures this system with a memorable idea. It calls it the AI factory. Think of a factory not for physical goods but for decisions. The raw material is data, and the output is action. It starts with user interactions. Every search, click, purchase, message, and swipe creates digital traces that the firm can capture. Those traces flow into data systems where they are cleaned, organized, and combined with other signals from the business. Algorithms then process that data to generate predictions. What will this customer want, this borrower repay, or this driver need next? The prediction feeds a decision. Which products should be recommended, which price should appear, or which transaction should be flagged. That decision triggers an action in the real business. A loan is approved, a feed is reordered, a route is changed, or an offer is sent. Then the most important part happens. The action produces a response, and that response becomes new data. If the recommendation works, the system learns that signal. If users ignore it, the model can adjust. The factory is always refining itself. This creates a feedback loop in which better data improves predictions, better predictions improve actions, and better actions generate even richer data. That is why the AI factory is such a powerful concept. It shows that AI advantage comes from an entire system that keeps learning, not from one isolated model. Now we can compare two different kinds of companies. One relies mainly on human judgment and labor. The other builds decisions into digital systems. Traditional firms often depend heavily on people to review cases, coordinate work, and pass information across departments. AI-driven firms still need people, of course, but more of the routine sensing and decision-making happens through software and models. That changes speed. Human-centered processes usually move in batches, with meetings, approvals, and delays. Algorithmic processes can respond instantly. It also changes scalability. If a traditional firm wants to handle 10 times more activity, it often needs far more staff and coordination. An AI-driven firm can often expand output with much lower marginal cost because software can serve more users without adding people at the same rate. The deepest difference is learning. In many traditional organizations, experience stays inside teams or individuals and spreads slowly. In AI-driven firms, each interaction can feed the system, so learning becomes cumulative, shared, and embedded directly into future decisions. So the comparison is not just old versus new technology, it is a shift from labor-intensive operations to systems that scale and learn continuously. The authors argue that AI-driven firms gain advantage through three connected capabilities: scale, scope, and learning. Let's start with scale. Digital systems can deliver decisions and services to huge numbers of users at very low marginal cost. Once an algorithm works, it can be deployed across millions of transactions, recommendations, or interactions without rebuilding the process each time. Next is scope. Data gathered in one part of the business can often improve performance in another part. A company that understands search behavior, payments, logistics, and browsing patterns can connect those signals to create better products and decisions across many domains. Then comes learning. Every new interaction becomes an opportunity to improve the model, refine the workflow, and raise future performance. Learning matters because it compounds. A system that improves from millions of interactions can pull further ahead over time. These three capabilities reinforce one another. More scale generates more data. More scope connects more contexts. More learning makes the whole system smarter. That is the strategic edge. AI firms are not only bigger or faster, they are better at converting activity into intelligence. When that happens, advantage becomes hard to copy, because rivals need not just software, but data, infrastructure, and a working feedback loop. Scale, scope, and learning together create compounding advantage. The book becomes much clearer when we look at real companies. Amazon, Tencent, and Ant Financial each show a different version of the AI-driven firm. Take Amazon. Its recommendation systems, pricing, logistics, and cloud infrastructure are all tied to massive flows of data and algorithmic decision-making. That means Amazon does not only sell products. It continuously learns from browsing, buying, delivery, and marketplace behavior to improve the whole system. Tencent offers another model. Through platforms like WeChat, it connects messaging, payments, entertainment, and services inside one digital ecosystem. Because users move across so many activities in one network, Tencent can generate rich data and extend intelligence across multiple business domains. Ant Financial shows how this logic works in finance. Digital payments create behavioral data that can support credit scoring, fraud detection, and personalized services. What is striking here is that these firms are not just using AI in separate departments. AI is woven into the architecture of the business. Across all three cases, data flows through digital networks, algorithms shape decisions, and each new interaction strengthens the feedback loop. That is how they compete. They turn user activity into a system that scales, expands, and learns faster than traditional rivals. So when we step back, the book's message is bigger than a story about new software. It is a story about a new architecture for business. AI transforms firms by linking data, prediction, decision, action, and feedback into a continuous operating loop. That loop helps companies move faster, scale further, and learn more systematically than organizations built mainly around human judgment and manual coordination. This does not mean people disappear. It means the basis of advantage shifts toward the systems that help people make and automate better decisions. In that sense, competition is increasingly shaped by algorithmic systems competing on data quality, speed, and learning capacity. For managers, students, and future leaders, the question is no longer whether AI matters. It is whether firms can redesign themselves quickly enough to compete.